one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night, and when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night, this summer night, this summer night. Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We never need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I, singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night, and when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night, this summer night, this summer night, this summer night, this summer night. Someday we will look back, and our hearts will be whole again. I want to remember all that happened to us. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night, and when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night, this summer night, this summer night. Oh yeah, this summer night, this summer night, oh this summer night. I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night, and when we stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We never need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Someday we will look back, and our hearts will be whole again. I want to remember all that happened to us. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Oh yeah, this summer night, this summer night, oh this summer night. I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We never need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night.
folks. Welcome. It's time for the role quest. This time it's gonna be ranged DPS, which I'm really excited about because, I've been really dying for this one. Especially because leveling up Bard turned out to be much more difficult than I expected. Especially after leveling up all the, tanks and healers. Found it very challenging in dealing with the queue times for range DPS again. I already go through those with when I go red mage, but oh no, where is this? Yeah, this place. Confuse it with this one. By the way, on the leveling, I've been doing a few more, let's say, vignettes, more of the side quests, and I've really come to enjoy them a lot. They're really fun. Doman Delegate. The Doman Delegate is seeking able-bodied adventurers on behalf of Lord Ian. Do mine eyes deceive me, Master Gadrell? Oh, thanks, Kami. Lord Ian has requested assistance in the resolution of a most urgent matter. The hunt for a fell beast believed to be a blasphemy. Though we have made great strides in ensuring the safety of our people, we fear even our finest shinobi will need be no match for this enemy, for it commands the skies of Doma. But your talent for striking down foes at a distance beyond compare, I can think of no one better to aid us in overcoming this adversity. It will be my pleasure. O Kami be praised. I shall inform Lady Yugiri that she may receive you at the Doman Enclave. Safe travels, Master Kadra. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen Yugiri, Ian, and those characters. Nanai. Not Nanai. It's Namai. I'm already misreading things. I'm looking at my OBS and looking at the levels of my mic, and I'm so happy with them right now. They may be a bit louder than before, but I was just struggling with the volume. And it turns out I had my microphone so badly configured. So it took some time to do some proper research and really get into the nuts and bolts, which means I found the YouTube video that explained it and followed suit. Guess that's how we do, That's the way to do it. You find someone on YouTube who knows. Oh, what the hell? I'm here talking my ass off, and I haven't changed the thing to display the game. What the hell am I doing? There we go. So we're on our way. Doma. pro streamer here. Ah, sure. I mean, not showing the game is a step above what I've done before, which is streaming for 2 hours with the game, full commentary, and then realizing that my mic was off for the entire time. So it's completely quiet on commentary. I've done that before. Not fun. It's a veritable dope moment, but you just gotta look at it with humor. So yeah, I found a good guide on how to configure the mic properly. So I'm very happy with this. It really helps, particularly in editing later when I have to turn things up and down in audio. It really is helpful. But again, yeah, it's so good to be back in Doma. I do wish we came back here a bit more, because I want to see. I would love to have. Would like to have housing in Doma in Othard. Maybe that will come next expansion. Oh, this song. Yeah, this song. Final Fantasy 4. Oh, the 4. Yeah, I think it's 4. Oh no, Final Fantasy 6. It's the Swordmasters. God, what was his name? Sion. Yeah, or Gian, or however it's pronounced. Yeah, Sion Garamond, who is in this game. He's Ian's dad. Oh, such a great character. Tienkan Guardsman, Hakudo, another wonderful wolf guy. Can we zoom on you, my dude? I love that outfit. I'm gonna take a little photo because I want to glam that. Hello, Yugiri. It is good to see you, Kudra. When we received word that you of all people had answered our call, I could scarcely believe it. Yet here you are. Well, you called and I answered. Here for friends. Lord Hien will be pleased for this reunion. If you would wait here a moment. Well, 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 that the kami should guide your steps to our door once more, and with such fortuitous timing. Pray forgive me for not affording you a hero's welcome. The time is not on our side. Not long after receiving word of men transforming into hideous beasts in Thafnir, a similar creature was born of a woman in Isari. After attacking another villager, it took to the skies and fled. But to where we know not. An all too cruel twist of fate. For the one slain was among the prisoners returned to us in that deplorable exchange with Asahi and the Empire. Thus, when they have at last begun to piece their life back together. This blasphemy must be stopped. Alas, our foe is wont to keep to the skies, well beyond the reach of our samurai and shinobi. Thus did we seek the aid of those proficient in ranged combat, able to pluck the beast from the heavens. Of course, martial prowess alone will not solve our problem. Others have turned into weaker but no less gruesome abomination, as was the case in Thafnir, and their numbers increased by the day. From what I understand, this phenomenon is not unlike sickness, which spreads by feeding on fear and anxiety, emotions which, of late, can be found in abundance. Slaying these beasts means nothing if the people's hearts cannot be put at ease. Lord Hien! You have to help! The villagers! They... Oh, I skipped that, sorry. Another has been turned into my lord. For a blessing, no one was harmed when the beast flew into a rage, but the people are in a panic. I fear what may happen next. It would seem we have even less time than I thought. Worry not, we will see to the beast. As of yet, there is no cure for this affliction, but we will save what lives we can, I promise you. I trust you are ready to join the fray. At all times, buddy, at all times. It was last seen near the glittering basin. Come, I will show you. The beast was right here. I swear it. I thank you for leading us here. But it is not safe. Please, return to your village. We should split up if we're to have any chance of finding it, Cadrell, would you see to the west? I will search in the north. Yugiri, I leave the east to you. If you find it, remember, these blasphemies are no longer people. They will not hesitate to strike you down, so you mustn't either. Now let us not waste any more time. Like, buddy, you're telling me this? I'm the one who fought the main blasphemies. I'm the one who stopped the end singer. You don't need to tell me this. Unless you're saying that to Yugiri, you're kind of wasting your breath here. Like, you're trying to NPC-splain me. the stuff I've been playing for a long time. I love that this thing kind of betrays the you have this calm music and in this dire situation. Are you all right? We heard shouting and came as fast as we could. It would appear Kadra arrived not a moment too soon. Why'd you kill my brother? Your brother? Young man, that creature was not your kin. Not anymore. Had he had not laid it to rest, it would have killed you, and countless others. But if your heart cries out for one to blame, let it be me. The beast was slain at my behest, for it was the only way. No, you're wrong. You killed him, murdered him. I hate you. Hey, it's Orange Guy. Ise, what are you doing here? Searching for Tombo, though clearly you found him first. The monster was his older brother, and as you may have guessed, and Tombo gave chase the moment it ran off. I beg you forgive him for his outburst. His brother was all he had left. Their father was conscripted by the Empire, was, regrettably, not among those returned to us in the recent exchange of prisoners. The hope they might one day be reunited was their only comfort when the Viceroy still ruled. I can only imagine how they felt when she walked into Isari, a shadow of her former self. Tsuyu may have had no memories of the monster she was, but her victims still see her in their dreams. Nevertheless, like many, the brothers prayed your mercy would see their family restored. But when then they learned of her death and of their father's absence, deprived of hope and hate all at once, they had nothing. My apologies for rambling. No. It was a rather enlightening tale. I spared the woman who brought him pain and took the brother who brought him comfort. I would hate me too. I swear I will set things right for Tombo, for all the people of Doma. Please return home, he said, and be safe. Let us return to the Domon Enclave. This ordeal has given me much to consider. All in all, I really like this attire, the default like level 90 attire for the bard, the class. But I do like these boots more. I do like metal looking boots a lot in Final Fantasy XIV. I really do. I do regret sometimes that other items, for example like earrings and such, aren't always visible for Hrothgar, but it is what it is. If I want to have my lion boy, I can't have hats. Well, I'm happy that, you know, soon we're getting glasses and other eyewear that everyone can wear. That's a certain upgrade. Riding a bike through Doma. Riding through this world. You're all alone. I owe you a great debt for your timely assistance. And an apology, for I've made you an executioner in young Tombo's eyes. Would that I had been the one he witnessed cut down the beast his brother had become. But we haven't time to dwell on regrets and what should have been. No, we need to take action. And after hearing Tombo and his brother, I believe I know what must be done. A great many of our brothers and sisters were returned to us in the prisoner exchange. But even so, there are those who yet remain lost to us. Meanwhile, Yotsuyu, who was directly responsible for much of our people's suffering, was never held to account for her crime. In death, she claimed vengeance for her suffering at the hands of her brother, but it came at the expense of justice for her countless victims. The people of Doma have every right to resent me for failing them in their grief. But what of those who cannot bring themselves to do even that, who are left alone with their anger and their pain? It may well give way to despair, and then they would share the same fate as Tombo's brother, yes. Which is why we must needs consider who else might share in his anguish, ere we find ourselves beset by more beasts. I will begin making rounds in the villages to inquire after those whom their neighbors believe are more distressed of late. Very good. I and the other shinobi shall continue our search for the blasphemy which set these events in motion. And you, my friend, we'll have need of your talents again ere long. Rest assured we will keep you apprised of our findings. When the Kami answer, Lord Hien's extended absence from the Enclave does not sit well with Yugiri. Kajura, we have yet to ascertain the whereabouts of the blasphemy from Isari. But for a blessing, we have received no reports of others that have turned. Lord Hien, for his part, has made a concerted effort to go about the villages and converse with his subjects directly. I suspect his constant presence has served to allay the people's fears. As one might expect, he has ever been dedicated and diligent, but I fear he has been away overlong. I thought to go and visit what should have been his last destination, Isari. Might I ask you to accompany me? Now let's go. Thank you. I'm sure there is no cause for concern, but nevertheless, I should be glad to find him quickly. It's crazy to think that though it's been years for us as players, for the people of Doma in the game, it's really just been a handful of months, maybe? Year tops? Like, the time between expansions is very short. It's just a handful of months. So we're thinking, you know, this is an old story, but no, These people, it's still fresh. Oh, that's her here? Oh, great. Let's just go on up with it. Now I have a clearer concept of what Isari is. It's the place where you first meet Yotsuyu. Where she demonstrates all that Dami Mommy energy by stepping on people. Oh man. I've already found, funnily enough, I've kind of forgotten the magical DPS quest line because I did it so long ago. Oh no, that's the Ishgardian one. That was the Ishgardian one, and it's about the faith and a missing guy. Yeah, I remember. Zerel, Yugiri, my apologies if I gave you cause for concern. Assessing the state of affairs here in Isari has proven difficult. To put it simply, the people, one and all, refuse to speak with me. They simply bow their heads and turn away at my approach. Knowing the blasphemy originated here, I cannot help but wonder if that has aught to do with their silence. Perhaps you could attempt to engage with the people in my stead. Surely they have no cause to deny the two of you. I should hope not. Nevertheless, I will don a disguise, as I draw unique, undue attention. Come, Kudra. Let us see what we can discover. Thank you, both of you. Again, calm, soothing music that betrays just the darkness of the situation. Because it's just the map's music, but I love how it plays on with this. I owe a great debt to Lord Hien. If not for him, I would still be fighting under the Imperial standard. But the village suffered dearly under the occupation. What's more, our Lord failed to punish the Viceroy for her crimes, and failed to reunite many with their loved ones. I understand why some would think poorly of him, even if I do not. What kind of quest is this? Ah, this is the one for Heaven on High. I need to do it someday. I need to finish the 50 floors of Palace. A blasphemy! You are mistaken, my friend. Our village was visited not by a monster, but a kami, Izanami. Where Lord Hien is cold and callous, she offers us boundless compassion and love. Right. Sure. Right. Okay, you see what you want to see, my buddy. Aye, that's right. The blasphemy was born of a young woman here in Isari. Tragic, really. Every day she prayed for the safe return of her husband, but it was not to be. If I am to be honest, I fear the loss drove the poor mother-in-law mad. Issei has ever been a devout believer in the kami and their blessings, but she somehow convinced herself that Minato has become one. The delusion of a grieving parent, obviously, but an alarming number of people have come to share in her belief. Heresy is what it is. Oh, great, we're hearing heresies outside of Ishgard, the place where everything is a heresy, and everything is the purpose, for the Inquisition to consider. It's really, it's my greatest joy with the Hildebrand quest in Heaven's Ward is the part where the Inquisitor goes, the Inquisition here is full of crap. I explain everything. I see. No wonder it would refuse to confide in me. The belief held by some that this blasphemy is a kami, however, is quite concerning. His Anami presides over life and death. He gave birth to the nation of Doma and ushers souls of the departed onto the land of the dead. I trust you understand what it would mean to deny them a source of hope in such dark times, even one such as this. The villagers also claim that Kisei can speak with the dead. In fact, she will be holding a gathering to demonstrate her powers ere long. The perfect opportunity to gauge the extent of their fanaticism. Not for me, of course. My presence will draw undue attention, but I ask you both to attend in my stead. Our followers will be gathering in the tavern. Come. Let us see. O spirits of Isari, I beseech you, lend me your voice and let your presence be known. Cross the veil and be among us once more. Akitsu. Father? Still tending the nets like I taught you. Yes, Father. Every day. Thanks to you, we never want to fish. Our bellies are never empty. I am proud to be your son. I was always too embarrassed to tell you before, but... And I am proud to have been your father. May you ever be blessed by the sea's bounty. It hurts. Father, what's wrong? He is in terrible pain, my child. Those who have cheated death's design yet live. It has disrupted the natural order, and the spirits suffer for it. What must we do to ease their pain? Fear not. Izanami shall put all to rights. She will claim the souls not long for this world and deliver them unto the hereafter. When her work is finished, your father's spirit and all the others will find peace. Can you find my father? Can you help me speak with him? Kisei, can you commune with my husband? What about my family? Help me, Kisei, please. I don't trust this. So, is Kisei's ability all that she claims? I don't know. Possible, but I don't know, it just feels a bit icky to me. A young man spoke with his dearly departed father through her. I find that rather hard to believe. Even so, those in attendance appeared quite convinced, my lord. And I suspect great many of the villagers I've spoken with recently are as well. Everywhere I went, the people were in so much pain, and there was nothing I could do to say or to give them peace. Do or say to give them solace. Yet for all their anguish, there has not been a single report of villagers turning since the incident with Tombo's brother. which can only mean word of Kise and her ability to speak with the deceased, has spread. The belief we can commune with our loved ones in death is a comfort far beyond my power to provide. Though I fail to see how people would abide the kami claiming innocent lives to restore order. She comes! Izanami! Blasphemy! Here? Ian, the kami, she appears from nowhere, and the next instant this poor man was... He's gone. Oh, we were too late. Was he one of the villagers who joined the prisoner exchange? You recognize him then? Curious that he and the blasphemy's first victim were former conscripts. What could the fiend be after, I wonder? It does not become my lord to speak ill of the kami. I understand you are come to investigate the rumors of a monster born in our village. A blasphemy, you called it, but you are sorely mistaken. My daughter-in-law, Minato, was chosen to serve as the vessel for Izanami. I witnessed her ascension with my own eyes. The echo. Minato, please. I can't. I won't. There's no logic in it. No justice. The witch of Doma spared, given a second chance at my husband, condemned to die as a conscript? I'll never know what became of him. Lord Hien can't give me even that. And when I look at the families who made whole at their happiness, I feel a hole in my heart. A gaping wound that will never heal begin to bleed. Only at my beloved side will I find peace. You mustn't lose faith, Minato. All will be well. Trust in the kami, in Izanami. I want to believe, but... Oh, she turned into one of these. Tentacle ladies. Izanami has come to bring peace to the souls of the departed, to restore balance between their world and ours. Surely you will not dare to defy the will of the kami. This balance you speak of has claimed the lives of two innocents but recently returned to us. I cannot, I will not, accept that the kami would condone such cruelty. No cruel in the sight of Yotsuyu free and forgiven, while Mike's husband and son fought Garlemald's wars, now dead and forgotten in a foreign land. With all due respect, Lord Hien, is it not your duty to protect Dama and her people? How are we to place our faith in the man who places the enemy's safety and well-being above that of his own subject? Only the kami are deserving of our adoration, as they have always been. Wow. People really... Wow. Really complex situation. Let me change my pet. Chewie! Yeah. The villagers are no doubt loath to ask it of me, but preparations must be made for burials and funeral rites. I can offer that much at least. You seem distracted in our conversation with Kisei. Is something the matter? I had a vision with the echo. I saw the transformation. The echo, and the blasphemy was indeed born of Minato. To bear witness to such horror, how her mind must have struggled to comprehend what she saw. And as a woman of faith, perhaps her only surviving family becoming one with the divine was the only reality with which she could come to terms. I believe I know what must be done. I but pray her fervor does not drive her to oppose us. Come, let us return to the Enclave. This is twice you said what needs to be done. And still I don't think you have a clue. You know what? Screw it. There we go. I don't know why I'm taking the long way around. Shining Doggo! From what you told me of your vision, the nature of Minato's despair, as well as the focus of her ire, is clear. Displaying she was a good-natured and kind-hearted woman, grieving for the loss of her husband. This loss alone may not have been enough to turn her, but my failure to hold Yotsuyu to account, together with the sight of other families reunited, compounded the turmoil in her broken heart. The path to despair paved by my good intention. A truth that will heavy on my conscience unto my dying day. Minato was prepared to die in sadness rather than live in hatred. If she could see the beast she has to become, she would implore us to stop her. Which is why we must find the others who were returned to us in the prisoner exchange before they come to harm. Once their safety is assured, we may hunt the blasphemy and bring it close to this tragedy. That'll be easier said than done, mate. There is work to be done, yet Yugiri appears reluctant to take action. Ah, good job. If you have come to ask after the blasphemy, I have naught to share. As of yet, our shinobi have seen no sign of the beast. The returnees, however, are all accounted for, and Lord Here has seen them safely to the Kienkan. As such, he is presently assisting with the hunt. For a blessing, there have been no reports of other villagers turning, and yet, before the situation takes a turn for the worse, there is a matter of field warrants for the investigation. Kisei. Though a villager of Hisari, I suspect she may in fact hail from my home, Sui no Sato. Knowing they would be loath to answer my inquiries, I entreat the Kojin to contact Sui no Sato in my stead. To hear tell of it, Princess Kurenai has made great strides in establishing stronger ties with the outside world. At the mention of Kisei, however, their cordial warmth turns strangely cold. If we are to learn more, I fear we have little choice but to go speak with the people of Suinosato ourselves. A simple visit for you, I imagine, but my banishment complicates matters. That said, it has been many years since I've left home. Were I to disguise myself, I might go go unnoticed in your company, if you are willing to take the risk. Hell yeah. If they want to come to you, they have to go through me. And they're not gonna come through me. Let us make through Onokoro. Hell yeah. Let's deal with your banishment in one fell swoop as well. I will be right back and I should go get something to drink. Okay, let's go. Not much of a disguise, Yugiri. The garments I wore when we first met, sufficient, I think, to conceal my identity. If you wrap yourself up, sure. How many years has it been since I last saw home? I am a shinobi of Doma, aye, but even as a child, I sought to ensure the safety and survival of Suinosato. I was quite bold in those days, if not a touch reckless, and together with the other children I often ventured beyond the borders of home. We yearned for adventure, and so one day we sought to behold the wonders of Doma. Imagine our horrors to discover a city of ruin and ash, imperial soldiers marching through the streets. We fled at the sight, but in my haste, I lost my way in the bamboo groves. It was there that I first met a young boy named Shun, a sweaty mess as he swung his wooden sword with reckless abandon, trained to fulfill his duty as a samurai, he said. Having seen the destruction of which the Empire was capable, I too felt the need to protect my home. I joined him in his exercises, and every day, my resolve to protect those I loved grew. Sadly, my elders refused to listen. They were content to remain hidden beneath the waves, and hopefully the Empire's noticed. With a heavy heart, I left in search of the strength I believed we sorely needed, and I found it as a shinobi. While the people feared war and conflict would follow on my heels should I return, I do not begrudge them their decision, nor do I regret mine own. Part of me is overjoyed at the thought of seeing home again. Openly defying the wishes of the Ruby Princess, however, would bode ill for my family. They have suffered enough for my transgressions. That is why, for their sake, I will remain naught but a faceless shinobi at your employ. Thank you. With that in mind, let us make for Suinosato. All these years, yet naught appears to have changed since the day I've left. Things have changed. I've done the special deliveries, dungeon quests. Things have changed. Not that much, but they have changed. All these years, yet naught appears to have changed since the day I left. But now is not the time to reminisce. We have work to do. Kisa's departure from Suinosato was likely decades ago. Perhaps the village elders will know why she chose to leave. Yugiri is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Yugiri behind by entering a different area, or by speaking with her and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have Yugiri accompany you again, yeah, sure. Wrong way! Are there any blue circles? No. Kisei. The name sounds familiar, and yet... Apologies, friend. My memory is not what it once was. Let us seek out another. My, has been quite some time since I last heard that name. She was a priestess of the village, banished after drawing the ire of the former Ruby Princess. What has become of her after all these years, I wonder? Please, is there anything else you can tell us? Unagi was close with her, if memory serves. Perhaps you should seek her out. I'm guessing that's Yugiri's mom. Mother, I had hoped to avoid my parents, but if there is no other way, I ask you to take the lead. Oh, family reunion! I live for this. Let's go. I get a feeling her parents will see through the disguise immediately. If I remember correctly, they were quite warm. It's good to see you again. To what do we owe the honor of your visit? Yes, we were close. But that was a long, long time ago. Still, if I can be of assistance to the man whom we owe so much, I will share all I know. Kise was born of a family of priests, and even in an early age, she was possessed of extraordinary abilities. Much was expected of her, but everything changed the day she said she could speak with the dead. No one believed her at first, but she continued to insist she could, and strove to prove it by demonstrating knowledge well beyond her years. Knowledge of events to which she could not have been privy. Word of her talent eventually reached the Ruby Princess, and she was summoned to Shisui of the Violet Tides for a private audience. No one knows what Kisei said to her in the palace. Only that the princess was incandescent with rage and ordered her exiled forthwith. Some believe Kisei revealed a terrible secret of the royal house, or perhaps spoke a blatant falsehood that proved her a liar. Indeed, the knowledge she claimed to divine from the dead was not always truthful. But who is to say the dead would know the truth or seek to deceive? Thus, could we never be certain if it was simply a fantasy or a power divine? The one thing that is certain is that no small number of people found comfort in her words. Would that I could tell you more, but sadly, I have not seen or spoken with Kisei since her banishment. Forgive me, but have we met your companion before? She looks familiar. I believe I'm not gonna rat out Yugiri. I said so. For the briefest of moments, you remind me of someone quite dear to my heart. Because Shinobi, I presume you have heard the tales of Yugiri Mistwalker? Should you chance to meet her, may I ask you to deliver her a message? Tell her her mother and father love her, that we could not be more proud of her. I will. I have no doubt she feels the same, and not a day goes by without you in her thoughts. Oh, you giddy. I think you got a little surprise. I think she felt that the parents might not like her. I believe we have heard enough. Shall we return to Onokoro? Okay, let's continue. My apologies for placing you in such a so peculiar a situation. Though I must confess, it did my heart good to see mother and father well. All the more reason I must do all I can to keep the peace. As a shinobi of Doma, no, as a member of the Eastern Alliance. Mayhap there will come a day when Sui knows how to open to the world. A day when Yugiri Mistwalker can be reunited with her mother and father. With that, Lord Hien could be afforded the same opportunity. Or Lord Kayan... So it's Cyan, Kayan, maybe. Lord Kayan and Lermine have long since passed. Two of too many lives lost in the Imperial occupation. I cannot imagine who would ever succumb to despair. But make no mistake, Lord Hien knows the pain of his people all too well. I can see it in his eyes, and if I may be honest, it troubles me at times. Perhaps I have said too much. I ship him. I ship it. Igiri, that's what I call it. Come, we mustn't keep him waiting. Welcome back. Welcome back. I trust your journey proved an enlightening one. Yeah, we saw you get his parents. So she does, in fact, hail from Sunosato. And you say she has possessed these divine gifts since childhood. Genuine or no, the people believe her, and more flock to her side with every passing day. While the returnees are safe at the Kien camp, its defenses bolster. As for the blasphemy, I have spoken with our Confederate allies, among others, and together we will establish a network of contacts across the length and breadth of Doma. Take up the search in earnest. Mark my words, we will find it. Stop going away and leaving the quest. Yugiri, the devoted daughter. Yugiri appears armed and ready to leave the Enclave, which can only mean one thing. You were right now, not a moment too soon. The blasphemy has been sighted on the coast. For mercy, there are no reported casualties as of yet. Just the man I was hoping to see. No sooner had we cast wide our net than a Confederate messenger was at our door. If you will join us, Rasho awaits our arrival on Norokoro. Well now, the noble Lord of Doma should come in person once again. Mayhap these blasphemies truly are a threat. Indeed they are. And I was told you and your side are quarry quite recently. Aye, that we did. Near the islands of Shoal Rock. The beast appeared to be docile by all accounts, but appearances can be deceiving. If it is as you say and this blasphemy has eyes only for former conscripts, then we have naught to fear. I trust those who accept into our care are still in yours at the Kienkan, enjoying the finest Doman hospitality. Anyway, I know not why it came to the Ruby Sea, nor why it remains idle. But if we act quickly, there's a chance we can take it unawares. I propose we divide our forces. If you're willing to go ashore, we'll take a ship and circle around about the islands. The first to find it will have the honor of the kill. Huh. Simple enough a plan. Shall we be off to Shoal Rock then? Not gonna be that easy, huh? We still have 2 more quests before the end of this quest line, so it's not gonna be easy. Unless the next quests are just about preparations for the fight. I doubt Kisei would let this happen. So she's gonna interfere somehow. Yeah, this is Shoal Rock. This is where the blasphemy was last sighted. If the fates are kind, this will be all over soon. such speed. I doubt even my falcons can keep pace with it. Don't tell me the blasphemy. That's the blasphemy flying off into the distance. I hope the ill will it bore me in life might compel the beast to stay and fight. Perhaps less of Minato remains than I thought. Minato? The monstrosity was Minato? You knew her? The family tried to flee to Hingashi during the occupation, but their ship was raided and sunk. When we happened upon the wreckage, she was huddled between her parents on a piece of flotsam, desperate to keep warm, for they had long since grown cold. We took her to Honokoro where we nursed her back to health. Couldn't imagine what horror she must have witnessed. The mere sight of our weapons was enough to make her start screaming. She was clearly unfit for our trade, so we sought a village that might take her in. Isari was the village. Several months later, I chanced to meet her on this very beach. She was in the company of a young, hardy fisherman, and I knew at once she had found more than a home there. I saw him here many times after that. She found something comforting about this place, I think. According to reports from Rasarhan, the memories and desires of those who turn can influence their behavior, the behavior of blasphemies. Their behaviors as blasphemies. And perhaps Minato's memories are what compelled the beast to come here. That would also explain its timid nature. Minato was never one for violence, and the sight of you, Blake Drawn, no doubt stirred what little of the woman remains in the monster. If that is the case, an assault on the Kienkan is unlikely, guarded as it is by our samurai. But how are we to fight an enemy so quick to flee at the first sight of danger? Robbed of her parents, her husband, and now her life? How right we didn't have to at all. But I understand full well the risk we take by doing nothing. If we catch sight of the blasphemy again, you will be the first to know. Perhaps next time we can put her soul to rest. There is naught to do now but bide our time. Come, let us return to the enclave. That was a really quick quest. Barely anything happened on this one. I like this bow. Given what we have learned, it seems likely the blasphemy will return to Shoal Rock. But that knowledge will avail us not if we cannot prevent it from escaping again. They want the people of the Kienkan. Lord Hien, on behalf of the people of Isari, we are come with a request. We welcome with open arms and open hearts. What is it you would ask of me? Those returned to us in the prison exchange have been granted shelter at the Kienkan. But they yet live as an affront to the Kami's grand design, and the spirits of our loved ones suffer for it. Balance must needs be restored, and so I do beseech you to render them unto the goddess Izanami. Hell no. No. Absolutely not. There's not a place to pray for the death of others, nor draw steel to save mere bloodlust. When I take a life, be it by command or my own hand, I do so not in service of vengeance, or to uphold my duty to Doma and her people. How did your merciful Yotsuyu serve your duty? How were your people made better by the sight of her walking free? For her crimes and cruelty, I cut her down the day we took Doma Castle. I sought to kill her, and by right she should have died then and there. But the Kami willed otherwise, and returned to us alive and bereft of her memories. With no recollection of her deeds, it would not have been Tsuyu who faced punishment. It would have been Tsuyu who faced punishment, not Yotsuyu. This was my judgment, and for you were denied the justice you deserved. You have every right to resent me. But you come before me and ask that I sacrifice men and women whose only crime was to suffer, to be condemned to a life of servitude. If you truly believe your cause to be sacrosanct, believe yourselves fit to bear the burden and swing a sword, then step forward. Sophistry and lies. They were meant to die. The spirits demand it. Are these the words of the dead or the living who yet mourn? Oh, look who it is. Word of the XIV priestess and her gifts has spread far and wide, and I thought to see the truth of it myself. By coincidence, I crossed paths with a traveler hailing from the self-same village, who had a mind to return as well, but alas could not, and so he bade me deliver a missive in his stead. Judging by the striking resemblance, I take it you are the young fisher Akitsu. This is a letter from my father. He was severely wounded badly, but expects to make a full recovery. He's alive. But that would mean... Surely a woman of your talents can divine a plausible explanation for this turn of events. Oh, Gosetsu, you the man! You shall pay for this contumely? Wow. You shall pay for this contumely. My daughter will make certain of that. The rest of you, get the hell out of my enclave. Oh, the colors kind of washed out for a moment. What happened? Whoa. Apologies for the abrupt and otherwise unannounced arrival. As you can see, my lord Hien, I am returned. Is it me or the colors are kind of washed out? Let me check something. Oh no, it's fine. Weird. Oh, glad I am for it. Thanks to your timely arrival, we have given the lie to Kisei's claims of preternatural power. I gather you're afraid of recent events? Apprised of recent events? It did not take long to learn the state of affairs here in Doma, and that my assistance may be required. I heard tales of Kisei channeling the dead, including the firing of one young fisherman. Imagine my surprise when I saw this spirit in the flesh. He was also on pilgrimage, paying respects to the departed, and we chanced to meet in a Liberation Front infirmary. Would that we were not brought back together under such circumstances, but I'm glad to see you all hale and hearty. Tombo, is something the matter? I wish to apologize, Lord Hien. It was wrong of me to say the things I said. I understand nothing can bring back my father, but I was so angry Please, Tombo, you needn't apologize. It's just, my brother was always so brave. My father's death was more than he could bear, and he turned him into that monster. If he wasn't brave enough, what chance do I have? We wanted to perform the rites for father, but the body was never returned to us, so... Not that I blame you for that, Lord Hien. I understand nothing could be done. That Agitsu's father survived is nothing short of a miracle, but I fear he is indeed a rare exception. I have offered prayers at more graves than I can count. It would be cruel to give others the false hope that their loved ones might return. And yet Kirise continues to do just that, offering comfort with her lies. A tempting but ephemeral balm for wounds that have yet to heal. Much like the anger some harbor for you, or resentment for the families restored while theirs remain broken. But for those like that poor boy whose hearts lack for hatred, who know only sadness and despair, they too may turn. Exposing the truth of Kisei's deception hasn't helped matters. If we are to prevent more suffering, we must pursue a lasting solution. I will be most grateful for your counsel, Kosetsu. There is much I could learn from your pilgrimage. If there is aught you require, but say the word and it shall be done. It is the least I can do for the part I played in Yotsuyu's tragedy. I failed her in the end, but I will not fail you, my lord. Thank you again for your aid, Sidrel. The day's events have given me much to consider. When our next step is decided, you'll be the first to know. There's 2 more quests. Down to 89. These are moving really quickly. A singular gift. Yugiri's stern expression suggests she has no good news to share. Maybe this is the last quest? Regrettably, there have been no sightings of the blasphemy since our first encounter at the Shoal Rock. As stands we surmised, it seems to fear confrontation. We, for our part, have tried to make good use of this intervening calm. Even now, Lord Hien and Kosetsu discuss how we might prevent other villagers from turning. If you would wait here a moment, we would no doubt wish to hear your thoughts on the matter. Sidrel, I'm so glad you could come. As Yugiri no doubt explained, the blasphemy continues to elude us, and so we have turned our attention to other matters we can and should address. After long discussions and much deliberation, we believe we have found a means to allay the growing malaise of our people. If you would, Kosetsu. The idea came to us after considering Yon Tombo's remarks about his father, whose body was never found and returned to Doma. Others no doubt share in his melancholy, unable to bury and mourn their loved ones as is their right. But simply they cannot make peace with their loss. Their anguish, if left to linger, may consume them as well. And we might provide the people of Doma with comfort and closure. We will hold a national funeral at the Swallows campus. Those who choose to attend will be asked to present personal effects of the deceased they wish to be enshrined there. Spirits reside in all things, be they living or inanimate. And though we may die, part of us lives on in the items we cherished most in life. Therefore, in lieu of remains, though these belongings will be afforded a place in the royal mausoleum, that the spirits of those lost to us may find their way home to Doma and at last know peace. The announcement has already been made, and a great many people are now engaged in the difficult task of deciding which keepsake will serve as their offering. It's not a decision to be made lightly, but I suspect they will have made up their minds by the time we go collect their chosen tokens. I also hope to learn more about the departed from those willing to speak with me, for my benefit and for theirs. To break free of their sorrow, they must seek joy in the memories and the love they shared with the departed, and I will help them find it. Might the Liberator of Doma be willing to favor the people with his presence as well? I doubt not that they will appreciate the gesture. Good, Yugiri. I leave the people of Isari to you. Kosetsu, may I ask you to... Apologies, my lord, but there is a small but most urgent matter I must first tend to. Very well, I shall not pry. Now, Kadrel, let us go and pay a visit to the good people of Namai. Right then, before we begin, I will remind you that you need only listen to the tales of their loved ones. As overseer of the ceremony, I see it as my duty to deliver their effects personally. Because of this, it is with the utmost importance that we keep clear of any beasts that might damage our cargo. It goes without saying how important it is that their offerings are delivered in pristine condition, and it will be no good to you in a fight while heavily encumbered. Stealth and flight are not options. I must ask you to fight for us both. But we needn't worry unless the occasion arises. For now, let us be off. My husband, my sweet dear Maroya, never returned from Garlemald, but perhaps now his soul might know peace. Please take this painting brush to the Swallow's compass. I shall handle it with the utmost care. Have we troubled you to tell us more about your husband? Maroya was a kind and gentle soul. There was nothing he loved more in the world than to create. That brush never left his side, not even when he tended the fields. And each spare moment was dedicated to his craft, and he produced the most wonderful vistas of Yanxia. It was his dream to take us to Kugane, where he would become a famous artist, until he was conscripted. In the early days, he would send drawings of the places it took him, though I know not how. But more time began to pass between each arrival, and then they stopped coming altogether. I know not in what far-flung land he died, but I pray was as beautiful as his work. He sounds like quite a man, who holds fast to his art even when forced to endure such hardship. His soul will find peace, of that I have no doubt. I must thank you again, Lord Hien, for this honor. My son would have been overjoyed to know that his katana will be enshrined at the Swallow's compass. Nay, the honor is mine. I'm sure your son was a fine warrior. Aye, and so was I once upon a time. A samurai as it happens, in service to your father, when the Empire first invaded our lands. Though we were defeated, our spirits broken, my son Motosuke was never one to lose hope. He was determined to follow in my footsteps, gave his everything to honing his skill with a blade. When I watched him train, I felt the pride I thought I'd forsaken swell in my breast. And I knew he would restore our family to his former glory. Alas, he could have fled, perhaps started life anew as a vagabond of some sort. But he bore the burden and fought for Garlemald, for fear of what the Imperials might do if he did not. This plain he was a loving son and a warrior true. I will care for his blade as if it were my own, and see it given the honor and respect due a samurai of Doma. Oh, this questline, man. This is a heavy questline. I'll be honest, at the beginning I didn't think much of it, but now it's kind of getting to me. I realize it's quite light, but I want to offer this on behalf of my brother and our father, Susuhiro. If you are willing, I would very much like to hear about them both. My father, he was a carpenter. He was a good man, if a bit stubborn, always thinking about his work. The only time he ever seemed to enjoy himself was when he had a cup of sake in his hand. When my brother came of age, he took up the trade as well. It brought them closer. I see them laughing over drinks together, or listening in silence to the crickets singing under the moonlight. I wanted to join them one day. This was their favorite sake. I thought they might miss it. I'm sure it will taste all the sweeter having come from you. Hey Ian, pick up that thing. I realize no one can ever replace your brother or father, but if you will allow, I will be honored to share drinks with you in their stead, when you are of age, of course. This should be everything. Would you join me for a short reprieve before our journey back? Huh, what is this quest for? Urge the Cowardly Lupin. Oh my god. I do that quest at some other point. There are a bunch of feature quests that I haven't done in Doma. Perchance to Hanami. Okay. They put on brave faces, but the people of Namai are still racked with grief. It's the same at every village I have visited in recent days. But it is only now I am struck by the contradictory nature of my goals. Having joined the Eastern Alliance and taken steps to revitalize the Enclave, I believe Doma was at last on the path of peace and prosperity. I still do, yet by focusing so keenly on the future, I have neglected the past that yet haunts my people. Even if they do not give in to despair, and become beasts that plague our lands like poor Tombo's brother, how are we truly move forward if we are constantly looking back? You speak 100 passer here, but what of yours? Is there not someone for whom you yourself still grieve? Me? All things considered, I suppose it was only a matter of time before the subject was broached. He cuts to the heart of the matter. I'm the young lord. For the best, I should think, for he cannot lead by example if he has not yet made peace with his own past. Kosetsu. I knew it. 1,000 apologies, my lord. I was passing through, tending to the matters of which I spoke earlier, when I chanced to hear familiar voices in the distance. Oh, you picked your sword up again. If I may be so bold, the people of Doma, one and all, understand the source of your pain. To lose your father in the turmoil of the fatal rebellion, his staggering duty to the throne, thrust upon you. Aye, how could you even begin to mourn when first you had to lead? It would behoove you to take part in the funeral rites, my lord. Take this time to make peace with your past while it is still yours to spend. Though unlikely, if not impossible, for you to become a monster as well, Doma would surely be lost. I thank you for your counsel, Kosetsu. But if I may ask, why is it you keep your blade at the ready? I thought this personal matter of yours would be not but a trifle, or am I mistaken? Well, I find the katana a superior tool for appealing personals. Speaking of which, I do believe my stomach begs for sustenance, if you will excuse me. I might be preparing an offering for us to you. Training. To help slay the blasphemy, no doubt. Bidding that he should offer me counsel. He refused to heed it in kind. He is not the warrior he once was, but he is wise. Our obstinate friend. If I'm to be perfectly honest, it frightens me to recall it. The moment it all came crashing down. We'd taken Doma Castle. Victory was ours. But then we looked out and saw the banners of the 13th Legion marching towards us. The Crown Prince at the fore. No sooner had Kosetsu and I escaped when we received word that Xenos had slain my father. I remember how the fight went out of Kosetsu in an instant. How he wept for his lord, while I felt the weight of the profound duty bear down upon my shoulders. Crushing, suffocating. The heat of my own breath, the chill of my clammy palms. But duty demanded I master my emotions. When all those around me, Kosetsu included, were consumed by anger and a thirst for vengeance, I had to be in control. Under my orders we dispersed and fled to fight another day. To this day, I have not stopped to reflect on my father's death. How could I, devoted as I am to finding Doma's way forward? But now I must. And so, having taken you into my confidence, will you see this through with me to journey's end? Oh yeah, man, let's do it. The keepsake I will offer for the funeral is hidden in a place not easily reached. We'll have to fly there, I'm afraid. But worry not. My yawl will ferry us just a moment. I also have flying abilities, so don't worry. The place we seek is Plum Spring in the mountains, shall we? My parents would bring me here for Hanami as a child. Its beauty and serenity was such that I could forget the realities of the occupation. Indeed, some of my fondest memories of my family are here, which is precisely why I chose this place to conceal the singular gift my father bequeathed to me as a child. Oh. Charming, is it not? The great auspice of Kitian Dasheng. That should reside somewhere along the Daidu chain. I fought him as a boss in a dungeon. In those days, anyone and everyone knew the tales of his prowess. Reckless boy that I was, I once even tried to seeking him out, hoping he might help us. I buried here shortly after my coming of age ceremony. It seemed a fitting place to both part with my childhood and offer a final goodbye to my mother. More a keepsake of Mag than his, to be sure, but he was never a man of worldly possessions. Still, I suspect he would allow himself a rare smile if he were to see it again after all these years. And that is precisely how I wish to bid him farewell, with a smile. It should go without saying, I would prefer it not become known that I kept this doll here. I don't want the children to grow jealous now, would we? And with that, I believe it is time we return to the Enclave. Yeah, we still have one more quest for when things go pear-shaped. Because they're gonna get pear-shaped in some way or another. There are yet more villages to visit and offerings to collect. The preparations are proceeding apace. Soon the people will have the one less cause to be tempted down the path of despair. Of course, there still remains the problem of the blasphemy. The former conscripts will remain at the Kienkan until it has been dealt with. We will say the base in due time, but before that, we will be honored if you were present for the funeral rites. Pray speak with Yugiri when next you visit the Enclave, and she will tell you more of the proceedings. To rest. Yugiri's somber expression suggests you have arrived right on time. Begin. As ever, your timing is impeccable. We were moments ago completed preparations for the funeral. I will inform Lord Hien of your arrival. You're here. Excellent. The blasphemy continues to shun our settlements, and I mean to make the most of the time its absence affords us. I assume you were planning to take part in the ceremony? Glad to hear it. Unfortunately, Gosetsu will not be joining us today. He's injured himself, as I knew he would with his secret training, and now grumbles from the confines of his bed. But he will be fine in due course. He may worry over his convalescence after the funeral. Oh, Gosetsu. Good old buddy Gosetsu. We head to Namai once more. I really like this horse. It's from a realm reborn, but I really like its design. Red and fiery, leaving trails as it goes. I like it. It's simple, but I really like it. The swallows come. Is that a dungeon? Oh. The swallow's compass. Alright, this is the one that ends with a fight with the Monkey King, so to speak. This is the Imperial Mausoleum. Oh, what's this? Alright, so this is the vault. And here we come to the actual... Oh. The villagers should arrive here long. Then we may begin. Let's do it. Lord, he and I. What are you here? I apologize, my lord, for my past transgression. I yearn to believe my daughter was a kami reborn, but you were right. She is a monster. Words can ill express my shame for advocating the conscripts he sacrificed to appease the dead. Nay, this ceremony shall serve far, far better. And so as a humble citizen of Loma, I offer my deepest gratitude and beg for your forgiveness. I will make an offering on behalf of my husband and son, as well as my dear sweet Minato. I throw myself on your mercy, Lord Hien. Allow them a place within the mausoleum, that their spirits may know peace. Oh, she's up to something. I don't trust her. There is no need to beg forgiveness, Kisei. Please ride. She will come for you. And here she is. By the kami, she gave her life to draw out the blasphemy? Blasphemy, Izanami. Let's do this. Up, poison. God. Oh no, here he comes for the healing. Oh, he comes to us as a monk. Or, yeah, is a monk or what? Apologies for your untimely arrival, my lord. White mage, maybe? Rosetsu, what is that staff? Pilgrimage proves the most enlightening experience, and is where I chance to discover the benefits of ascetic training. I may no longer be fit to wield a blade, my lord, but Shugendo affords me another way to turn the tide of battle. Yeah, this is a fucking white mage. Stubborn as ever. I shall have to thank you later. Let us put an end to this. Version of white mage or something. I want it. Thus ends the blasphemy. A deceiver to the bitter end. But she is still a daughter of Doma. She will have a proper burial and her family's belongings enshrined with the others. The brush, the katana, the sake. I have gathered you here today not to speak of the future, but to reflect on the past, to pay respect to the loved ones fallen on the field of battle. In honor of their sacrifices, these sons and daughters of Doma shall be given a place here at the Swallow's Compass. So they no longer walk with us in life, they walk with us in spirit. Pray never forget their bravery, that the memories of their legacy give you comfort and strength. Maroya Motokawa, the aspiring painter. He was a man who saw beauty in all things, and one day would have become a renowned artist in Kugane. Moto Suejito, the warrior in training. He longed to become a samurai like his father and bring honor to his family. Tsuzuri Kodakumi, the carpenter, a man wholly dedicated to his craft, who hoped to one day pass on his talents to his two loving children. And lastly, Minato Shihogaki and her mother-in-law Kisei. Theirs was once a happiness to be envied. Minato's parents were murdered by Imperial soldiers, and after being rescued by the Confederacy, Minato was given to the care of the village of Isari. Though she arrived with a broken heart, it was soon mended by the man who would become her husband, the son of Kisei, who herself had been born to Isari on winds of tragedy. Kisei was a child of the deep, born in Suinosato. For her gifts she was exiled, but with her courage and tenacity found new home on the shores of the Ruby Sea. She was a devoted wife and mother, and though not related by blood, she loved Minato as if she were her own. That is how she lived, how they all lived, and how they should be remembered. Let your heart swell not with sorrow, but with joy for their memory. Know that proof of their mark left on this world shall remain here, enshrined within the Swallow's Compass for all eternity. Let us still our voices, and in silence pray for their souls, that they may share in the peace we have found. This is a beautiful, beautiful quest line. It started out strange, I couldn't really get to it, but when we were looking for the mementos, it really hit me. It was... Even now, I'm kind of tearing up myself. I need to take a breath because it really made me think of my dad. But anywho, well, I wasn't expecting a battle with a blasphemy as a prelude to the ceremony. At least now we know we may breathe easy, if only for a short while. The villagers have all returned home, and I believe it is time we did the same. We've held a national funeral and slain a blasphemy besides. A rather productive day, would you not agree? The former conscripts will be elated to finally return home. Speaking of returns, I think you speak for all of us when I say your appearance of the Swallow's Compass came as something of a shock. What of your injuries from training? Quite painful for some time, I assure you. Despite my best efforts to reclaim my former skills, my back and hips vigorously protested. I planned to sleep that I might be well rested for the morrow's hunt, but a voice called out to me. I was needed. So I grabbed my cane and ran as quickly as my ailing body would allow. The cane suits you, Osetsu, for your mastery of healing magics was a sight to behold. Almost as surprising as your resurrection following the fall of Domo-Castle. I am still but a novice in dire need of training. It is my hope that I will be able to refine my aesthetic arts during my next pilgrimage. So you are leaving then? Worry not, Lord Hien. Should you find yourself in dire straits once more, I shall fly to your side. Not as a samurai, perhaps, but I will nonetheless give our enemies cause to tremble. And with that, I take my leave. Osetsu as a healer, man. That's so good. And it's such a good turn of events. Though it may be years, if not decades, until we will truly make peace with our past, we have turned the corner and begun to heal. We may look to the future unburdened by grief, ignored and sadness denied. The path ahead is ever fraught with peril. We shall walk it with eyes unclouded and with pride. You have done so much for us, for Doma. I wish there was more I could do for you. How about a hug? If I may ask one last favor before you leave, please inform our representative at Razad Han that the blasphemy has been vanquished, and the people of Doma are safe. With any luck, our experiences here will prove useful to the other nations that yet grapple with these beasts. Yukiri, you need to go home. You need to visit your parents. I want there to be a quest where you do that. The people of Sunosat will be relieved to hear of recent events. I wonder what mother and father would say. Safe travels, Cadrell, and may the Kami bless you. I'm gonna make a pit stop at Suinosato, maybe. Yeah, let's do it. Are they around here? Are they around here? Nope, they're not here. Oh well. Go to Razad Han. Master Gadrel, you have returned. What word from Doma? Well, we held a national funeral and killed the blasphemy. The blasphemy is no more. That is most wonderful news. I must inform the other delegates at once. Thank you again for answering our summons. If another threat should rear its dastardly head, I pray we can count on your assistance again. Oh, hell yeah. Pictures no. The glint in Shirabot's eye suggests he is hoping you might pass through. Well, if it isn't Gadrel. All around good egg and champion of, well, the whole world, I suppose. Well, Travis fast, my friend. We've heard all about your exploits in defeating the blasphemies that plagued the good people of Eorzea and Doma. Sadly, there are other fell beasts that yet won for slaying. But fear not. Our efforts to bring them low proceed apace. And we have naught but glad tidings from our allies. Perhaps the most surprising report came from Werlet, where soldiers led by the infamous Black Wolf fought alongside Alamigan troops for yet another hard-earned victory. Reports from Garlemald, however, suggest another blasphemy threat lurks in the snows, so we received a petition for assistance. Strange, don't you think? When the effects of the final deaths began to spread in earnest, we encountered a great many monsters in Garlemald, but never a blasphemy. And to make matters worse, they said Garleans who chose to remain and rebuild have begun transforming into yet more hideous creatures. From what I understand, it was you and your comrades who brought an end to the source of the final days, is that right? Even so, it would appear its effects lingers a while longer. Until this malevolent influence on Akasa subsides, I dare say this won't be the last time we hear of such sightings. As for the blasphemy, we have reason to believe it is a great deal stronger than any we've faced so far. Your strength and experience will prove quite valuable, if you're willing to help, of course. Of course I help. Truly, our contacts in Charlian will be thrilled to hear it. Though they did not explicitly request your assistance, it was clear from their first they were hoping for it. Though if I may be frank, I was not expecting Charlian of all places to be so concerned with the present state of Garlemald, or with their strict policies of non-intervention. Perhaps we will find out the reason before this is all over. But that is an inquiry for another time. I'll not keep you any longer. Once you arrive in Garlemald, I should think the intelligence officer stationed there will be more than happy to apprise you of the situation. Go to Camp Broken Glass. Drell? Drell? It's an honor to have you with us, sir. I presume you'll come to assist with our hunt for the blasphemy. Yep. Maxima and Lucia will be pleased to hear it. If you come... Is it Lucia? Or Lucia? Anyway, Maxima and Lucia will be pleased to hear it. If you will come this way. Kind of forgot her name. Like how her name is said. It is good to see you, Gadrel. But I wish it were under more fortuitous circumstances. We were reluctant to call upon you, knowing you but recently returned from the far reaches of the heavens, but we are no less glad for your aid. Now then, I believe it's best if the man who first discovered the blasphemy explained the situation. Portional, dear lord. Oh, Gadrel, good. We may forego introductions then. Thank you for answering our call for assistance. As for the situation at hand, it concerns a joint effort between the Forum and the Loperids to find new purpose for the moon. While there is no longer a need for a vessel to evacuate the star, We believe the moon may yet prove of use to the people of Atheris. After much contemplation, a rather ingenious proposal was put forward. Transform the moon into a repository for man's knowledge, an archive of hitherto unseen scale. Charlian has long had the honor of boasting incomparable repositories of the world's knowledge, but it is far from perfect. Should calamity befall us, natural or otherwise, the wisdom of ages we have long labored to preserve would be lost. But the moon is beyond any such risk. What's more, it is beyond the jurisdiction of any one nation. Thus did we consult with the allied nations of Eorzea, the Far East, and Razadhan. They agreed to assembling a survey team to take measures of the moon and its potential as a repository. Our plans for assessment were forestalled, however, by the presence of an entity we believe to be a blasphemy in the Tower of Babel. Claims of Garlean citizens transforming into monsters shortly after its discovery only gave further credence to our initial suspicion. But we've not only ill tidings to share. Reinforcements have been dispatched to aid us in quelling the blasphemy threat. Lord Artuariel and a member of Gridania's Keepers of the Entwined Serpents. The Gridania's Keepers of the Entwined Serpents have already begun an investigation into the catalysts of these transformations. Though the skies no longer burn, and the spread of this affliction is much curtailed, we must remain vigilant. Until the blasphemy threat has been quelled, Alfino and Alize have graciously offered to help keep calm the people of Tertium, while we attend to the people here. Send me to the Twins. But the matter of the blasphemy is still not easily resolved. It's not so easily resolved, I'm afraid. We recently met with certain complications that have hindered our plans. Yugiri and Fordola are presently deliberating how best to resolve the situation. Perhaps it would be best if you heard the details directly from them. Wow, Yugiri and Fordola. The buddy cop movie I didn't know I wanted. I should like to join you, if I may. As this endeavor was originally undertaken on Charlayan's behalf, I feel it is my responsibility to see this through to its conclusion. Let's do it, Fortunal. You and me, buddy. This is the other buddy cop movie I didn't know I wanted. Fortunal's Grand Adventures. I did not expect to see you here of all places, but I'm no less glad for your presence. I presume word of the blasphemy is what brought you here, in which case I believe it may be best if a member of the reconnaissance team's guard explain the situation. Dear Lord, everybody's here. An acquaintance of yours. I'd heard tell you were the worldly sort, but bugger me if I knew where you heard my name before. I'm just lowly sword for hire, hoping to find my purse with a touch of mercenary work after taking my leave from Limsa. The job sounded simple enough, but well, I'm sure you wouldn't be here if it were, eh? I need to check something. But you didn't come all this way to hear about me, did you? The blasphemy we're after is making its sense in the upper reaches of the Tower of Babel. The auxiliary sector, believe it was. But it wasn't alone. A sensible horde of beasts were circling about like knights protecting their queen. Naturally, we thought to strike from a distance before engaging in earnest, but not a single bullet reached its mark. They were protected by some manner of mystical shroud as far as I could figure. With a keen eye for magic, I don't see anyone getting through. By the time we understood the futility of the situation, we'd been spotted. Retreat was our only option. Pains me to say it, but there won't be any brute force in our way through this one. My understanding was once transformed, these blasphemies are completely devoid of ether. With what energies could it create such a barrier? That's the question, isn't it? My first thought was some heretofore unknown technique for conjuring shields. Needless to say, I'm out of my depth when it comes to matters of magic. Which is precisely what I plan to speak with the Elder Seats here when she arrives. If anyone can help us find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protection, it's her. In the meantime, could we try to help you with a not so small matter of people changing into beasts? The blasphemy's horde was large enough that when first we found it, we can't afford for more people to join its ranks. Very well, we shall reconvene with our Tuariel and discuss strategy. I shrugged it off, thinking the figment of my imagination, but in hindsight, I'm not so sure. Well, Nothing to worry ourselves about now, but best keep on your guard when we do finally return to the tower, eh? I'm curious about who this blasphemy is. Like a drought, it's good to have you with us, my friend. Indeed, the road before us is not an easy one, and a man of your talents will prove invaluable to our efforts. The keeper of the entwined serpents needs a name. We but recently returned from reconnaissance, and where we made a few. We but recently returned from reconnaissance, where we made a few rather surprising discoveries. All right, let me see the face. Oh no, this I gave him the voice. I know we'll give him Anna Lane because I confused him. He's a much more serious lad. First and foremost, we were pleased to discover that no one residing within the camp broken glass of Tertium have turned. No doubt thanks to the concerted efforts of Maxima, Alfino, and Alice. However, we have reason to believe that those who did turn all hail from Locus Amanus, You mean Corvus, the Guardian's ancestral home? The very same. When the ill effects of the final days began to manifest there, a number of Gallian refugees from the region sought sanctuary in Garlemald. But the capital was already in ruins when they arrived. They were offered asylum, but many refused and instead chose to fend for themselves on the outskirts of the city. We are of a mind to go and speak with them directly, if you would care to join us. Perhaps together we can learn what of their recent circumstances has triggered such a terrible change among their people. Holy crap. That's a lot of tinctures. Artorial is eager to begin his inquiry. A moment, please. Time being of the essence, I believe it prudent we split into 2 groups and cover as much ground as we may, as quickly as possible. If you and Master Fortunaut would inquire after the people at Victor's spoils, the 2 of us shall see that we may learn at Liminal Station 4. When you have finished, pray meet us there. Victor's points to the east of here, yes? Let us be off. Oh wow, this place. Wow, this is the place of one of those first Garlemald quest lines. With the 2 sisters who thought you were gonna kill them. Oh, rough. They should choose to reside here in the cold. Can but presume they will not be amenable to conversation. Even so, we must not be deterred. Come. Can't imagine why you or anyone else would feign interest in our troubles. But you insist. You'll find a great many of the people here were military at one time or another. Some return with honors, others without. Sadly, I'm one of the latter. For one too many scars in battle. Even so, my contributions were enough to warrant leave to move to Locus Amanus. It was a land of warmth and bounty. The Corvosi rebellion admittedly proved troublesome for a time. It wouldn't take long for the Second Legion to quell the uprising. You could practically drown in the calm and quiet. And then one day the skies came alive with flame. We were overrun by all manner of foul beasts born of our brothers and sisters. The Second Legion barely had time to assemble their forces before they were overrun and snuffed out. We barely escaped with our lives. We were greeted with only more wreck and ruin on our arrival here. And we've not the strength to take our home back from the Corvosi a second time. There's nothing left for us anywhere. Come to hear our grievances, have you? For more than you have time to hear them, I'm sure. We've lost not one, but two homes, our loved ones, our livelihood. There's nothing left. I served my time with the military, For what? To lose all my friends. My son, and it was not to show for our claim to Locus Amanus. And so we thought. Calamity was visited upon us for reasons we know not, and when we thought to flee, it followed on our heels to Garlemald. Ruin and ash at every turn. Oh, buddies. Talk? What is it to talk about? We've no home, no future, nothing. This doom spells the end for us all. Yeesh. Did you learn aught of how they came to be in such dire straits? Yeah. I see. I heard much of the same. The military force of Locus Amanus were defeated in the wake of the final days. Desperate to survive, they naturally fled to Garlemald seeking sanctuary. It was their hope the might of the Empire could allow them to reclaim the home they were forced to abandon. The capital was already in ruin when they arrived. Needless to say, the lands they have long believed to be their ancestral home of the Garland Empire may remain forever lost to them. Those unfamiliar with history believe they have always resided in the bitter cold climes of northern Hilsabard. It was only after the Corvosi invaded 800 years prior. With the advent of Magitech, I imagine it was all too easy for Emperor Solus to rally his people and take back what they believed to be rightfully theirs. Yet history would tell us true, that the land they call Locus Amanus has been known by other names, and served as home to myriad peoples. Indeed, one need not only look back to the Allegans' reign in the Third Astral Era to give lie to the Guardian claim to sovereignty. Yet even had they such ancestral ties to Locus Amanus, antecedents cannot justify their animosity to foreign peoples. Animosity poorly veiled by delusions of justice, has been the case for so many nations throughout history. Would that man had the sense and strength of will to break free from such chains of hatred. Help! Someone help! They've turned! Another monster. Quickly, Kadra. We're having the moment to lose. And there we go. One of my mates seemed unwell, so I thought to come over and look in on him. Next thing I knew, he... No one appears to be injured. Did he not attack? He just walked off in the direction of the tower, in a daze, as if it was calling to him. He could not have gone far. If you would go after him, I will remain here and see that all are accounted for. This is a very interesting turn of events. But now it will be Garlemald. Oh yeah, this is much better than doing things with the bard. God, I like playing Red Mage so much. I really like Red Mage. My favorite job. The beast is slain then. Thank the heavens. For a blessing no others have turned, and a measure of calm has been restored, if only for a moment. Only for the moment. Witnesses were able to offer a clue as to the source of the transformation. They claimed the afflicted was listening to this radio. Even now it continues to play in the same cryptic message. Is it that song again? That message from the Emperor? Empire, no more. Never again. Rise. Ashes. Though distorted by radio static, you can hear a voice saying, "The Empire is no more. Never again shall it rise from the ashes." But how is this possible? There are no facilities left standing that could possibly deliver a broadcast. Anima was able to send a message. Busquet was sending such a message. Be that as it may, Anima is no more, and the Tower of Babel has fallen into disrepair, by your hand no less. Which begs the question who, perhaps what, could be behind this? Israel, Master Fortunaut, a moment if you would. Well, look at this. Shortly after we finished our inquiry at Liminal Station, Lord Emmerich and Admiral Merlib arrived and requested an audience. Apologies for our late arrival. Knowing firsthand the devastation of which blasphemies are capable, I discussed the matter with the Admiral and we were of one mind that the situation warranted our immediate presence. It is safe to presume a representative of the survey team has already arrived. Indeed I have. Thank you for coming all this way on such short notice. Recent events at the camp have proved most enlightening. And this is the aforementioned radio. Empire no more. Never again rise ashes. A harsh reminder of the misfortune. Sufficient to push some wayward few over the edge, it would seem. Yes, there were remains of questions of who is sending the message, and from where. Glory everlasting, Garlemald. For glory everlasting, or Garlemald. No, it couldn't be. You recognize this message. A mantra often spoken by Lord Nerva. Anyone who lived in the provinces under his authority could scarcely forget those words. He sought to claim the throne after the assassination of Emperor Varus, did he not? After civil war broke out, Yalbo disappeared according to the intelligence we managed to gather. How could he have managed to breach the tower undetected? To have done so and remain unnoticed by the creatures infesting the tower seems a nigh impossible task, unless... You think the voice on the radio is a blasphemy? I do. And as it was with Anima, these radios are somewhat attuned to whatever signal it emits from the tower. What's more, I believe the true identity of the blasphemy is Nerva, robbed of the throne and forced to watch the empire he longed to command crumble before his very eyes. If Sir Lodge did not drive him to the same fate as Quintus, the despair he felt no doubt overcame then turned him. Nerva's delusions of grandeur aside, the Garlean's plight sounds not unlike the Sahagin, desperate to preserve their spawning grounds. Indeed, though unscrupulous by any measures, the Garleans found solidarity in their ideology, as did the people of Ishgard and the church. Adrift without home or purpose, it's all too easy for despair to take hold. Would that a remedy were as simple as offering them land, as we did the Sahagin. In all likelihood, the Garleans would refuse to settle for aught less than what they believed to be their ancestral homeland of Locus Amanus, a claim the Corvosi will readily take arms to denounce. We would do well not to further fan the flames of animosity twixt them. And perhaps at the very least we can offer them peace of mind, and a means to regain some semblance of stability in their lives. For them true comfort and stability, Garlemald was rebuilt. By no means an easy solution, perhaps the only one worthy of pursuit. Of course, this new Garlemald must remain a sovereign nation, free from the oversight of others. Fine. You will see no meaning in otherwise. If I'm not mistaken, Alfred and Alice have already made strides in helping the people here to regain some normalcy in the day-to-day living. Our most important first step, but it will mean little without proper leadership. Rather than a single individual, perhaps a governing body of sorts will prove more effective. There are a number of former Senate members among the refugees at Camp Broken Glass, as I recall. With their help, creating a framework for new governance is not an impossibility. And let us call the people together and see what they make of our proposal. Holy shit, the people that fought Garlemald all these years are now going, hey, we need to rebuild your country. It's of the utmost importance that we do. Oh, these are some downcast looking people. The final days has taken much from you all. I can't but imagine the pain you feel in the face of such immeasurable loss. And though the final days have been averted, its effects yet linger, and a blasphemy has been born of your suffering. Decisive action must be taken before further harm is brought upon you. To overcome such adversity is too great a task for any one person, but as a people united, there may yet be hope for the morrow. While it is not our place to decide how you will move forward, we will offer a small measure of guidance. We were told a number of former members of your Senate here to remain among you. Would you be amenable to an interim government led by these individuals, until such a time as Garlemald can be rebuilt? Rebuild Garlemald? Is such a thing truly possible? Even if we do cobble together some governing council, they won't be making anything of that pile of ash we dare call Garlemald. There's no going back to Locus Amanus either. Rack and ruin. Those are our only options. I realize to rebuild Garlemald is a seemingly impossible task, but you need not take it alone. My children are working with members of the First Legion as we speak to begin an organized relief effort, and there are others from the provinces no doubt willing to lend their expertise. You need but ask, not as would-be conquerors, but as brothers and sisters of this star, and others will heed your call. If you still see no merit in the rebuilding of Garlemald, then I would instead offer you residency in Sharlayan. I promise you will be welcomed with open arms. Sharlayan? But now you'd expect us to go and lick boots in some country we've never even heard of. My apologies if I appear overly forward in my proposition. Considering our strict policies of non-intervention until but recently, it is not surprising that you are unfamiliar with my homeland. It is an island nation to the north, home to myriad peoples, which is why I believe it would not prove difficult to accommodate you and yours. To be clear, you would not be migrating to Sharlayan to live in servitude. You have my word that each and every one of you will be guaranteed citizenship upon entry. And why exactly would you go to such lengths for us, for the conquerors you barely know? Sharlayan was long aware of the coming doom that will be the final days, and so we were preparing to evacuate the star, taking as many people and resources as our stores would allow. Initially, it was our intent to save the people of Garlemald as well. We had not forgotten your transgressions invading Alamigo, your rejection of our entreaties for peace. After a great deal of deliberation, it was decided we would forego an invitation to Garlemald, a determination made with great trepidation. We are convinced ourselves it was ultimately for the greater good. I can think of at least one individual who continued to protest. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, It is indolent. Oh, good old Louisois. Sage counts are gracefully cast aside when confronted with the final days in Earth. Brigadrell here and his companions refused to forsake those who were otherwise unwilling to save. With great risk to themselves, they achieved the impossible and opened my eyes to the error of the Forum's decision. If all other roads lead to ruin regardless, we should at least consider it. It will be my pleasure to invite you all to Camp Broken Glass, where you'll have warm food and beds both. My god, such a difference from the beginning of the game where Guardians were like, hell no, no, no. There we go, we still have some of them. Such a... Oh, I'm blown away by this. Having up Merlin and I shall speak with Maxima and the others, and consider how best to assist the Guardians moving forward. To we broach the subject of the blasphemy, however, we will not hesitate to call upon you. Ooh, who's that? Intelligence. Though visibly relieved the Guardians are safe, the hardness fortunate I suggest your work is far from over. With the Guardians' hearts at ease, the likelihood of others turning has greatly diminished. That said, it is no cause for us to grow complacent. We must needs find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protective warning. If I understand correctly, a blasphemy's behavior is oftentimes influenced by the memories and emotions of their originator, in which case it would be prudent to learn more of the man who birthed this monstrosity. How fortuitous then that a number of soldiers from the 3rd Legion are in our custody. For a mercy, their tempering was not so severe as to be beyond our ability to heal them. They are presently being treated at Camp Broken Glass. Perhaps the camp's intelligence officers can tell us who among them knows aught of Nerba's whereabouts. I see. Perhaps it's best you speak with Virgilia, Legatus of the 3rd Legion. She's still in the mend, but the surgeons aren't like to oppose a brief conversation. You will wait here for a moment. The oldest champion, I presume, and one of his cohorts. What business have you with me? Ilzabard is faced with imminent crisis, and we believe the knowledge you bear may be key to stopping it. So we think the blasphemy is Nerva. Can you tell us anything about Nerva? what I'm guessing they're saying right now. Thus we believe the blasphemy to be Nerva. His whereabouts in the wake of Garlemald's fall, or lack thereof, give credence to our theory. Lord Nerva. From what we have pieced together thus far, you're one of the last to see him alive. Please, will you not share with us what you know? Very well. Very well. Do I suspect what meager knowledge I possess shall avail you not? I last spoke with Lord Nerva shortly after the warring with the First Legion began. Cloistered within the lower levels of the Cenaculum Imperialis, he spent the better part of the day listening attentively to the radio. He seemed hopeful, or perhaps desperate, or knew that the tide might turn in our favor. The next day I left for the front line. It was there I heard a terrible noise, which I assumed came from the Tower of Babel. Then darkness took me, and I remember naught after that. I was told the radius protected those close to them from the effects of the tower, in which case Lord Nerva would have remained unaffected. But he has ever been so devoted to Garlemald, for glory everlasting, he would say. To watch the empire he loved so dearly crumble, I can think of no one who will be more stricken by the sight. It would seem we were right to assume what became of Nerva. And it does not surprise me the beast would choose to make its nest within the Tower of Babel. Its sun topped the remains of the Imperial Palace and the throne he revered so highly. But the Empire is no more, and Lord Nerva apparently is no longer the man he once was. He deserves to be laid to rest, together with his dreams of glory. We will fell the beast. You have my word. Apologies for the interruption. Kana Senna has arrived, and we're ready to depart. It's good to see you, Cadrell. Master Fortunato. I have spoken with Lawrence of the ward protecting the blasphemy, and I am quite confident some manner of ether-based magic bars our path. If I may be so bold as sits here, we'll reach the same conclusion initially, but that simply is not possible. These creatures born of the final days of the void of ether, as such they would be unable to produce such a barrier in a manner which we are accustomed. Do you suppose it possible that they manipulate dynamis to achieve a similar effect? I too thought to dismiss the notion of a barrier field by ether. That is, until I stepped foot here in Garlemald. Even now I can sense the streams of ether flowing toward the tower. Its purpose was, after all, to harvest reserves of energy sufficient to reach the moon. Even if one was incapable of manipulating ether directly, it stands to reason control of the tower would alleviate such a need. It's merely conjecture, of course. I cannot say for certain until I have examined the occurrence with mine own eyes. But I ask you to accompany us. I will join you as well, if I may. My injuries will keep me from being used in battle, but my knowledge of the land should serve just as well as my blade. I would not be opposed to your company, but it is not my decision to make. She may go, as long as she remains under watch by you and the others. Very good. Why don't I suggest we begin with Regia Urbanissima? I sense the greatest confluence of ether in that vicinity. aka the city center. And who are you? As I thought, the ether streams here flow towards the tower, as do all other in this region, no doubt. This convergence first began with the Telophoroi, erected spires in all corners of the Orsa to fuel the Tower of Babel. But once destroyed, the divergence of ether should have ceased. Alright, whoever you are, if you've business with us, quit your skulking about in the shadows and speak your piece. Was you there in the tower, wasn't it? Oh, oh! Look who it is, my buddy! Nero! My, you're sharper than you look. Fucking Nero. I recognize you. Nero, yes? Why are you following us? Of course he would be here. Who said I'm following you? Being a native of Galima, does it not stand to reason I be inclined to come and see what has become of my home? I know not what you're scheming, but you've no time to entertain your games. Perhaps Master Gar will make better company for you. Spare me. I am a man of great ambition and greater intellect, far beyond the scope of anything Garland could hope to achieve. He still keeps his head in the clouds, while I will set my sights on the stars beyond. I just thought you snuck into the tower, but like us, you didn't get past the blasphemy to reach the transporter. Yes, well, I was very much hoping you would disperse with that little obstacle. And having caught wind of your plans, curiosity compelled me to see if you were truly up to the task. Do you have reason to believe we are not? Or perhaps does the great genius Nero mean to dispense with the blasphemy himself? Far be it from me to steal your glory, having come all this way. But as I am feeling generous, I will tell you what I learned during my time in the Tower of Babel. I was able to access its systems, you see, and discovered one of those dreadful spires still appears to be active. Impossible. They all but vanished when Anima was destroyed. Yes, and I've heard your escapades reclaiming the remains of the Emperor. But obviously you failed to reclaim his entire body. As it stands, a piece remains powering a tower at Fabrica. Ah yes, the manufacturing district, just north of the erstwhile Imperial Palace. A rather impressive feat considering how these lands are so utterly devoid of ether. Barely enough to sustain life, let alone the spire. But if one were to use various remains, it would forcibly create a confluence of sorts. Precisely. And what I gleaned in the tower systems, its heart serves as its core. Dressing not with blood with your precious ether, and now Nerva has amassed the servant to shut up his offenses. How fortuitous he should find so perfect an impetus for his design, stolen from better minds than his own. How very like him. Oh, did I say it aloud? You forgive me, I failed to show concern for your ire. He is a man who gives 0 craps. If what you say is true, these lands could never hope to recover from such a paucity of life energies. We must hurry and find Varus's heart, to both spare the land this wanton harvesting and deny the blasphemy the source of its protection. Are we to presume you have any intention of aiding us? As I said, I have no intention of stealing your glory, but I fear victory may soon slip through your fingers if you do not act quickly. The Tower of Babel was designed specifically for Anima to serve as its core. Nerva forcing himself upon the system has caused it to grow increasingly unstable. If my calculations are correct, and they always are, it will not be long before his presence triggers a system meltdown. The resulting explosion will destroy whatever tenuous streams of ether breathe life into the lands of Garlemald. More importantly, we will lose our only means of reaching the moon. The heavens forever denied my genius. Also very fortunate. In any event, it would seem time is of the essence. That's all well and good, but even if we know which district to search, finding the heart would be like looking in a needle in a bloody haystack. Actually, I may know where we can start. It's all rather hazy, but I still have vague recollections of my time serving Anima when I was enthralled. We were commanded to erect some manner of facility tucked away in a corner of Fabrica. I remember not what it was for, but it's as good a place as any to begin our search. Certainly sounds promising, but surely this facility will be heavily guarded. Then maybe it would be best for us to divide our forces. If it's just the 4 of us, shouldn't it prove too difficult to sneak inside and find the heart? Meanwhile, our main force can send raids to storm the Tower of Babel when the barrier gives out. Leave it to us. This is level here. What? Very well. We shall return at once. A number of guardians have left camp for the Tower of Babel. They have someone misunderstood the threat of the tower and convinced themselves that Nerva has taken refuge there, still clinging into the ill-placed patriotism, no doubt. They could not have gone far. If we act quickly, perhaps they can be found before they come to harm. A wise man would not waste his time for a few wayward refugees. I thought you Charlatan scholars knew better. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, sir. If it's all the same to you, Cadrell, I will join you. I will turn to camp and begin preparations for our assault on the tower. And I suppose I should go as well. What an ass. Though I am unharmed, I promise not to be a burden. That said, it will behoove us to avoid any undue confrontations if possible. Now then, let us be off. Wow, you're gonna follow me? No trace of them here. Let us keep searching. Survey. Help! Someone, please! Did you hear that? It came from over there. You're the ones who came to speak with us before. We heard Lord Nerva had returned and was assembling his forces in the tower, but... No, Nerva is the blasphemy. Nerva's a monster, and he's surrounded by monsters, you idiots. No, not Lord Nerva too. And there really is nothing left for us. I'll not deny your situation is dire, but you are not without a path forward. I believe you've seen the passion and conviction needed to rebuild Garlemald, if you so choose, or feeling that you could begin life anew in Charlian. Rebuild Garlemald? No. There is no point in entertaining so lofty a dream, and we would sooner die than suffer a life under rule of another. You would sooner seek death than sanctuary? Your resolve is admirable, but sorely misplaced. If you would not see Garlemald rise from the snow and ashes here in Ilsabard, might you consider venturing onto a new frontier? A new frontier? And where exactly is this land ripe for exploration? The moon. It is our goal to create a repository of man's knowledge there, free from the jurisdiction of any nation. As I understand, the magic tech and technological advances of Garlemald were without peer. Your expertise will be indispensable in the endeavor, should you be willing, of course. You really expect to go and live on the bloody moon? Is such a thing even possible? Have you a better alternative? Lest you forget, Garlemald did not rise to grandeur for complacency in the present or rumination in the past. We live for the future. It's in our blood. Life is not without its hardships, of course. Even I have met with the occasional stumbling block. But even should I stumble, my eyes are forever fixed skyward, seeking ever greater heights. The Empire may be lost, but I still possess a great deal of knowledge gained from it, and a desire to seek more. The very notion of exploring the moon is an unprecedented prospect, and that you would balk at the proposition boggles the mind. Consider this. You have heard of the beasts of the final days were born of those hapless souls that had given up on everything, yes? If that is indeed the case, can you tell me why you still stand before me? Because deep down you believe your life is yet worth saving. Deep down you long to reach for the unreachable. Or perhaps you don't. If you should choose to lay down and die here in the snow, that's none of my concern. Reach for the unreachable? That sounds like something I would have said back at the academy. Alright, we'll go. I suppose it's better than dying here in the snow, as you so grimly put it. And we must first dispense with the blasphemy that commands the tower. Then maybe find another way to go up It's hard to believe that Lord Nerva, of all people, would be turned to one of those monsters. Please, you must stop him. Put his soul to rest. Thank you, and sorry for causing all this trouble. Thank you for the rousing call to action, but I thought you had no interest in meddling in our affairs. Lest you misunderstand, I abhor the idea of my countrymen blindly following nobles they know next to nothing about. Besides, it would be a most piteous sight for not a single Guardian to be among those venturing to the moon. Who else am I to prevail upon to learn new findings up there? So full of crap. Might be the last ones, I think. Coral and Glory. Fortunately is eager to regroup and make ready for battle. From what Nero has told us, time is of a luxury we can't ill afford. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass, if only for the moment. The others are no doubt finishing the preparations for battle. I should hope the other's absence means all proceeds apace. Good, you're here. With your recent arrival of reinforcements, our preparations are all but complete. Holy crap. Apologies for our lateness. It seems we're at least in time to help deliver the crushing blow. Aye. And if fates are kind, this will be the last we see of these damnable blasphemies. Commander Alden, Lord Heal, thank you both for coming. Yes, of course, understood. Lawrence and the others have reclaimed Varys' heart. The barrier protecting the blasphemy should soon dissipate. And the time has come to last storm the Tower of Babel. It's all not in agreement. Admiral Merlin and Lord Emmerich await our arrival at its base. And we should be about it, eh? I suppose this is a good opportunity as any to keep my hammer from rusting over. I will accompany you as well. As a forum's representative and a member of the survey team, I feel it my responsibility to see this through to the end. I didn't take you for the fighting type. Despite appearances, I'm not a stranger to the battlefield. Indeed, I have seen my fair share, traveling the world in service to the forum. Though I may not be the equal of Alfin or Alizé, we shall not find ourselves wanting. I can promise you that much. At least he recognizes that these kids are badass. We have all finished our preparations. We shall reconvene at the Enceladum. Oof. The Tower of Babel, man. That building just looks crazy. It's just like cobbled from so many other buildings and just crazy designs. So honestly, this site still makes me a bit sad. Because I've seen places like, I mean, not exactly like this, not blown to bits, but I've seen places after a disaster. Oh, he's a sage, of course. All are present and accounted for. Shall we proceed? Your breath through the battle will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again for the most recent of these. Please note that you enter battle associated with other quests or log out from the game, the progress will be lost. It would be cool if the different sections were using different jobs. Like different roles. Ooh, Nero coming in full armor. Our objective is simple. Locate and eliminate the blasphemy Nerva. Though the barrier guarding him is no more, a number of beasts still surely block the way at the auxiliary sector. Off to a smashing start, I see. It will seem the tower will reach its limit sooner than I anticipated. If we're here to save the transporter, we must hurry to find Nerva now. You should go without saying, but stay on your guard. It was quite a menagerie. Breaking limits up as only two World of Light can do it. Can I just say how cool it is to be here with so many hero characters? This is the utmost coolest. Look who we're surrounded by. I don't know what killed me. Yeah, but we were skipping all these cutscenes. I must have stood on something. What killed me? No idea. Maybe I should have healed.
道が開けました。今が好機だ。
打ち負かす。
Now Americ picks up and handles the rest. So now we have Portional, Raban, Nero, and Hian. intense. Holy crap. Is that the last of them? That's a lot of them appearing. Of course. We can't afford for them to impede our advance any further. Commander Alden, let us hold them here. Master Fortunal, take the others and go. Quickly. Understood. Blasphemy. Nerva ye Galgo. Ooh, buddy. You've looked better in the past. Leave. Leave now. Garlemald is mine. Mine! Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you, Fortunal. Behind me, I shall take control of it. Well done. Victory! He summons an armor like a common rider. For glory everlasting indeed. Is it over? Has the danger passed? By a hair's breadth, perhaps, but yes. I'd say we've managed to avoid a fiery ruin. Our path to the moon is open once more. The duty of Sharlayan has ever been to chart the course of history, not to change it. Thus we fervently hold our policy of neutrality and non-intervention. In truth, it was all in service of our plan of Exodus, to abandon this star to its ruinous fate. Harsh though it may sound, I still believe it was ultimately for the greater good. Thanks to you and your comrades, however, it was a fate that did not come to pass. Sharlayan will now find a new way forward, not merely for the preservation of knowledge, but for the betterment of this star and all who call it home. I believe I speak of all of the forum when I say it will be an honor and a privilege to work towards such a goal alongside the allied nations. Aye, an age true of everlasting peace is finally within our grasp, and we will seize it together. It's a relief to know we've no longer need for battle. Despite my experience, I must confess I'm ill-suited to it. The Allied nation leaders, meanwhile, demonstrated an aptitude for combat far above what I might expect from diplomatic figures. And you, my friend, I see now we're so well regarded as the Orange's champion. You weren't so bad. Yes, I've already begun the arduous journey home. Before you go, I would offer a word of thanks to the both of you. If not for your timely assistance, our plans would be forfeit, and the lands of Ilsabard forever defiled by the blasphemy. Please, I've no need for your platitudes. I labor only to further my own ends, nothing more. We heard the news. Thank you for everything. We'll never lay to rest, with the peace of mind to move on without regret. You are. Now, what's this I've heard about you cleaning out the Tower of Babel? Are we finally ready to return to the moon? What fortuitous timing. Allow me to introduce you to the living way of the Loperids, moon dwellers and overseers of the survey team. Living way, these good people will be the moon's first residents. I trust you and the other Loperids will take good care of them. Pleased to meet you? Residents! Oh no! Oh yes, splendid! After many long years of planning and preparation, the moon is absolutely, most definitely ready to accommodate your stay. I love that. Glad to hear it. And apologies for the delay. I must first confer with Lawrence and see to our final preparations. But your residents to be in the survey team shall be along ere long. Might I trouble you to relay word of our success to Shirabad in Razadhan? I should think the tidings all the more heartening coming from you. Until next we meet. Wait, you're not leaving to the moon without me. And thus concludes this sordid tale. It would be great to see the Tower of Babel gone. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, wrong place, wrong place, wrong place. Wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. So it's true then. The blasphemy in Garlemald has been struck down. They will arrive to call on you, it seems. And with no other outstanding reports of blasphemy sightings, I dare say you've slain the last of them. Perhaps now we can finally start to put the final days behind us. Strange though as that may sound. On behalf of my fellow delegates and the Radiant host, I extend to you our humblest thanks. I hope when next I call on you, you will be under more fortuitous circumstances. Sum of our parts. Complete the quest for Oil and Glory. And with that, we come to the end of this stream. A bit longer than the usual, but I had to complete that final quest line. I had to. I mean, and the Doma one was so good. Oh, I love all the role quests. They were fantastic. So that's it for me tonight. Tomorrow I will be back playing Lies of P. Thursday back to Trails into Reverie. And Friday, Endwalker with the Guilty Brand quest line. So come back and check it out. See you then.